Hello, hello. It's Tuesday and we are crafting with another brand new rub-on transfer. I know you guys have been asking for this one. This is our Nativity dedicated set. We brought it out last year. We changed it up a little bit. We brought it back this year. And I had so many people asking when this was getting released. And today's the day. It went public launch today. So we're going to dig into this and I'm going to show you how to do a few things with this. So I have grabbed our card maker kit. So this set of transfer is available in the postcard maker kit as well. If you didn't see our unboxing of that, I think I have all of the little things right here, but the postcard maker kit comes with two, everything is 4x6. So it comes with two 4x6 cream colored postcard cutouts that have envelopes. Then you get two of the, I don't know what we're calling this, like the aged look handmade paper. And then you get two of the cream handmade paper. And you can kind of see that this has like some texture and some feel to it. Hi, Miss Sandy. And so I'm going to show a couple examples on that. I'm going to show you some hacks because this paper is a little bit tricky to work with. So I'm going to do, we'll probably do a card for you. And then I also want to show you, well, let me show you what else is in this kit. Inside the kit, you get the cards, you get two of the decorative runners, you get your glue tape runner, you get two of the vintage banners, there's 6 vintage stickers, and then 2 frame sets. This frame set is actually 3 different frames. You just punch them out, but that all comes in the postcard maker kit. I'm not going to be using all of this stuff today. I'm just going to be using the cards out of it. So we're going to put that aside. But you can get the card maker kit with the transfers, or you can get the transfers by themselves. Let's go ahead and unbox the transfers here. I'll show you the 2 sheets. So this is a limited edition 2-sheet set. Because it is only 2 sheets, it is more economical. It's only $9.99. Members, make sure that you use your membership code. I'm not going to give that to you on the live, but it is in the membership group. But we have, they're all like watercolor designs. So the first sheet has the larger major type barn scene. Then we've got 2 of the watercolors with baby Jesus. We have another major scene, another close-up. And then we have these vintage scripts. So we have Luke 2:11, for unto you this day in the city of David, a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And then thanks be to God for his unspeakable gift. We get the question all the time about which translations we use. We use King James for all of the full verses. So that's what you will always see in there. Then we have these larger watercolors. These would need, if you're using them on a card, you would probably want to use this one on a 5x7, but you could use it for anything. Then I used this one on the version that I did here. And I'm going to show you how to do this. And then there's another watercolor. And then we've got some banners to use on the envelopes. And we also have the for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. On this particular card, I actually only used a portion of the verse. So I just cut out the comma and I just used the 1/2 of the verse so that it would fit on this. And so I'll show you a few of the examples. Hi, Miss Julian. Hey, Rhonda. It looks like everyone's on YouTube. So I wonder if Facebook is having issues again. Facebook has not been nice lately, I swear. Okay, so I did this version here. So this is the transfer, and then I've just got a paper cutout that I glued, and then I put the transfer wording on top of the paper cutout. So I'll show you how to do that. I did this version on the card where I just took one of the images and then I just layered the wording right over the top of the image. So you can see it a little bit underneath here, but it looks so cute. And then you can write, you know, whatever you want on the back. And so simple. And then I also did one of our postcard cutouts. So these come in a 4-pack. We have these on the site for a limited time. I don't know how long we're going to carry them. I don't like to keep having stuff sitting on the site, but they come in a 4-pack on the site. So you get 4 of them. And this one, I just antiqued the front of it. I'm not going to show you this technique today. We've done antiquing a lot, but I will tell you, after you antique it, you want to put a thin layer of Mod Podge over it and let it completely dry and then apply the transfers. If you try to apply the transfers directly to the antiquing wax, they're not going to stick. So that's my tip for that. So this does have, I antiqued it, light cover of Mod Podge, and then the transfers, and you won't have any issues. And then you can go ahead and seal it again with a light coat of Mod Podge or acrylic spray it. And then I just added the cute little bow on that. So I'm going to do one similar to this, but I'm actually going to do it in the crackle method. And I'm going to show you how to do the crackle with Elmer's glue. So if you don't have the Dixie Belle crackle, you can just grab yourself some Elmer's glue and we're going to do it. I'm going to show you this. Now I did this one yesterday because, you know, if you're painting, especially something like this where we're doing layers, because we're going to have a layer of paint and then we're going to have a layer of the glue, then we're going to have another layer of paint. It needs to completely cure before we try to apply the transfers. So I mocked this one up yesterday just to get the process going. So it would be completely dry for me to try it today. So I have that ready. Oh, Elaine's on Facebook, so that's working. Okay, good. Hi, Christine. Jillian says she prefers you too. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Okay, some things that I have grabbed. I've got my glue gun going in case I decide to do a little bow on our wooden one there. I've got my sander. I'm going to be using these two colors for the crackle. So this is just a sage. This is Hello Hobby. I believe I got this at Walmart. And then this is Waverly chalk paint and plaster. This will be the top coat. I've got my Elmer's glue. And I have these little paper tearers that I got from Amazon. I believe these are linked in my favorite things. So they just have the edging for tearing paper. So we're going to be using these today. And if you don't have these, you can use the fun scissors. I don't know what they're called, but I also have like these super fun scissors I got at like Ross in a whole giant bag. But I thought we'd use the little tear things today. And what else do I have? Scissors, and I've got my transfers. So to get started, I'm going to actually start with our first coat of paint on the wood. So while we're working on the cards, that can dry. So we're going to kind of be bouncing back and forth here. But the first color that you put on the wood, you're going to want to be the color that you want to show through the crackle. I didn't even have my paintbrushes over here yet. So we're just going to do this paint. That paintbrush is a little stiff. I didn't wash it off that good, obviously. We're just going to do one quick layer of whatever color that you want to use on the background. And it doesn't have to be super thick because we're going to have a couple of layers over this. I've mentioned this a couple times when you're working with the wood, but if you start in the middle and kind of pull the paintbrush towards the edges, that'll help it so you're not painting the actual edges and there won't be as much cleanup. On the darker colors, it's a little more forgiving. When we're using the white, sometimes it does wants to go off the edge there, but that's my little hack for less cleanup. I do like the chalk paint because it covers nicely. You don't have to do multiple layers. Ain't nobody got time for that. But we're just going to drag this paint through it. We've got Miss Sandra. She's on the bike therapy. Sandra's getting her exercise in while she's watching. That is the way to do it. Multitasking. I like the darker colors underneath. A black would be nice, a brown. You could do some reds. You kind of want it a little bit darker to show through the crackle. All right, so I am going to hit this with the heat gun so we can get the glue applied. And I was a little nervous trying this. I have struggled with getting the glue to crackle. And I may, knock on wood, I may have cracked the case. So I'm going to show you what worked for me yesterday. Because the glue is way cheaper than the crackle rays. All right, so we just want to make sure that that's good and dry. And then next, we're going to dump the glue on it. All right. So y'all know I'm a little bit heavy-handed, but this is what worked for me yesterday. I think when I've done it before, I've been too generous or too light with the glue out of being nervous. Yesterday, I did it pretty thick and it worked the best. So I'm going to put a decent glob on there. Now, we may not use all of this. I'm going to pull some of it off. And I'm just going to grab some trash so we can put our extra on it. But we want this kind of thick. So I'll show you, this is how thick I'm doing it. I'm just going to take that extra off there and I'm going to drag it. We need to make sure we get all through the edges. So you basically want a pretty generous amount of glue. I can see the edges are drying a little bit. I'm going to add some more of this on. We don't want it to dry too quickly because as it's drying, that's what creates the crackle. So I feel like that was a pretty good amount of glue. Now it's a little light over here, so I'm going to add a little bit more. All right, 5 minutes. I have 12:14. We're going to let that sit for 5 minutes. I'm going to leave my Mod Podge out. Okay, let's go ahead and prep while that's going to wash for 5 minutes. Someone might have to give me a heads up. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Susan. Oh, I already said hi, Susan. All right. So this is glue. I don't want to use that same brush. Almost caught myself. Okay. When you're using this handmade paper, it can be a little tricky because the transfer, unless it's a solid graphic, it doesn't want to stick to it as nicely as we would like. So one of the hacks that I have done, and again, this is a matte Mod Podge, is I can go through here and just give it a light layer of Mod Podge. You can either do only where you're going to do the design or you can do the whole thing. I'm just for the sake of time here, I'm going to go ahead and just do the whole thing. I mean, we don't have to go all the way to the edges, but I just kind of fade it out. And this is going to give our transfer something to stick to instead of having to work it into all of the little nooks and crannies of this paper. Because this paper is almost like a woven paper because it is handmade. So if you're having problems with it sticking to the paper, this is the hack. So you're almost just like prepping the surface. And it's going to give you a lot less trouble. Again, you want it super light. We don't want to soak this thing. We just want to get a nice cover, but we do need to make sure that it's completely dry. So I'm going to hit it with the heat gun again. All right, and then I'll see if I have, let me show one that's, where's the one that I did? Did I do the back of this one? No. I know I have two, because I did show you one, right? Gosh, what is happening? Oh, it's hidden on the bottom. I was gonna try and show you. So this is the one that we did the Mod Podge, and this is the one that we didn't. So you can barely tell the difference. If anything, it just makes it a little bit lighter, or a little bit darker. But what that's going to do is fill in the holes so that when we apply the rub-on transfer, it's going to stick to the Mod Podge. All right, how are we on time? We have 2 more minutes. Okay. Set a timer. If I wasn't doing another camera over here recording, I would use my phone. Hey, Miss Dana. So that's how we're going to prep it. Next, we need to figure out which transfer we're going to use. Let me use some ones that I already cut up so that I can re-show the whole set. All right, so I've got this one that can fit on here. We could do, you can kind of put it over there to see what will fit. This whole one will fit too. I really like this one. I feel like I should do this one. All right, I'm going to cut this one out. I'm watching my time. 14, 15, 16. I said 2:19, right? Is when I need to do. I've got 1 more minute. All right, we'll cut this out. And then we'll go back to our glue. So you're just gonna rough cut the design. Let's stick it on here. We might have to come back to rubbing it. Now, if you wanted to chop off this top and have room for the bottom, you could. I'm just gonna kind of push it all the way there to the top. I'm gonna get it started, but then I'm gonna switch back to the glue real quick here. So I'll use my transfer or my mat here to get it centered. And I'm just gonna rub it down with my hands. Now we're gonna come back and finish the transfer, but I'm gonna jump back over here. So my glue has been sitting for 5 minutes. Now we're gonna apply the paint. Here's where it gets just a teeny bit tricky. You can't overwork it, okay? So what you're gonna do, take a generous amount of your paint, and I just start from the middle and I just kind of drag it down. And you can't go over it too much. So you just kind of drag it, come over this way. I'm gonna add a little bit more and I'll drag it. And I'm barely putting any pressure on it because I'm just kind of dragging it over the glue. I'm not working it into the glue. We're really putting it on top of the glue. So the thicker your layers here, the bigger cracks you're gonna get. So don't go back over it, just blob and drag. And I will tell you, I have tried this so many times and cannot get it to work. And I was so excited yesterday when I got a beautiful crackle. Now right there, I have the inclination, I wanna go put more glue there, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna keep going and just keep dragging. So we want the glue tacky, but not completely dry. It's still just kind of tacky and blobby. Those are crafting words, tacky and blobby. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more to the end here, and we are not gonna overwork it and we're not gonna mess it. I'm not going back over it, I'm just leaving it. All right, now we're gonna hit it with the heat gun so you can see the crackle effect. You could just let it sit, but what's the fun in that? Now I have a little spot right there that's missing, but that's okay. We're not gonna rework it. So now we're gonna hit it with the heat gun and you will see the crackle start to form. So you can see we're getting some really good crackle on here. I feel like this side right here is way better. Now you could keep hitting it some more. This side right here, I probably needed more glue. Okay, Carmen, I'll have to answer your question afterwards. Okay, so this side right here, the glue was a little bit more thicker. This was a little bit more thin, so I probably could have applied more glue right here. Now, after you do this, and this is fine, this is where we can put the graphics, so it's not a huge deal. But you'd want to let this sit. So in my example, I have let this one sit overnight. So this is the one I'll be using. But before we go any further, we're going to let this sit and we're going to finish this one and then we'll move on to that card. So this one, we're just going to go ahead and use I like to use the precision transfer tool because I can really get in there The transfers do come with the plastic card. All of our transfer set do come with the plastic card. I don't feel I can get enough oomph in there, so I use the precision transfer tool. If you don't have it and you still need something stronger, you could come in here with a popsicle stick or something like that and do it as well. But we just want to make sure all of everything gets pressed down, and then we're going to start at one corner, one side of it, and then we'll go ahead and have it release. Okay, so it should release on its own. So if it's not releasing, it's not quite ready yet. And if you get stuck on a certain area or side, what I do is just start working from a different direction. So you can see I'm like lifting and rubbing at the same time. Now this is one solid design, so it's a little bit easier to transfer something that's solid than it is like the words. For example, on the words, each of these are an individual sticker. So I have to make sure that each one is stuck down. And I might layer that right over the top of this, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I think it will be perfect. So we're just rubbing and pulling at the same time. And I'm not having near as much issue as I was yesterday when I didn't do the layer of Mod Podge, because this paper again is what I would call like a soft paper. Now, Carmen, I know it says the transfers were sticky. So humidity can have a little bit to do with it. They do better in dry areas. It should not be sticky once applied. So I just need, maybe have her email support at Christian Craft Paper and we can help her troubleshoot. So here it is on the card. And then from here, if I wanted to do the letter layering, or to do like a little banner or something on here, I just used I'm trying to think which one I used. I think it was this one. I just used I don't even know what these are called. I don't know the technical term, but these little rulers that have the little edging on them, and all you do is hold it down and then tear it against the edging. So like pinch and tear, holding the ruler down, pinch and tear, and it's going to give you this nice little scrappy edge. And then from there, you would just do the same on the ends, like however long it needs to be. So for this one, let me do one end first. So again, you're just going to hold it down, pinch and pull. And then we will see, we kind of need to be about here, figure out how much you need. And then just pinch and pull. And that's where you're going to get your little sheet that you could put your transfers on if you wanted to do the wording. Now, because I used this graphic and I pushed him down so far, if I put that on there, I'm going to lose baby Jesus. So I'm not going to do this one this way. But what you would do is you would just put your transfers onto the paper, and then you're going to stick your paper with your glue tape. And I just run 4, and then I just stick it down. So that's how I did that one. I'm going to go ahead and put the words right over the design. Sorry. I have Amazon, I think, is at the front door, always. So I'm just going to cut out the lettering here, and I'm going to layer it right over that design. Pugsley. Right, so I'm just going to take it off. Sorry. Pugsley. Be good. All right, so we don't want to touch where the letters are, but we're going to go into here. And I'm just going to line it up with the bottom, my lettering up with the bottom. And I'm going to layer it right over the verse. or right over the other design. So you can layer transfers on transfers and kind of build them up. And I just want to make sure I get it really good here. And then I'm going to come through, and again, we're just going to take it one letter at a time. Make sure each letter is releasing. So again, this is where the transfer tool comes in handy, because you can use this little short part to really go over each letter. But yes, I think it was Christine that mentioned that was a great hack. Yeah, it makes all the difference, especially on this super soft paper. I'm just going to keep rubbing these. And again, especially with the letters, take your time. I feel the letters are something that, especially the newbies, they want to go too quickly. And you really have to take your time with the letters, because the design is so thin. We have to get in there and like work it in. So this could be the front of it. So cute. And then on the back, you could write or do whatever. You could stick this on a present. You could put a little hole in it and make it as a gift tag. There's so many different ways that you can use the postcards, but that's how easy it is to get it on to the postcard. So the next thing I want to show you is one of our little signs here. I'm going to make sure this is my dry one. It is. We're good. The crackle was on wood, correct, Christine. These are our postcard maker 4-packs. So I just grabbed one of them. Put the things out of the way here. And I'm going to do another one. I've like used all of this set, so I'm going to have to cut it up. I'm going to have to cut up one of the sets I have here. All right, so for this one, I want to do the wording again. So I'm going to kind of do the wording off to the side. And then I'm going to do one of the graphics. So let's see. What did I do on the first one? Did I do the smaller? So on this one, I did the smaller graphic and I did this wording. So I think I'm going to do this larger graphic and I'm going to do this wording. So we're going to cut out the parts that we want. And again, this crackle sat overnight. This is not the one that I just did. If you try and do the crackle and then the transfer, I'm going to guarantee you're going to have issues. So really let that one cure, because the transfers are very picky. They need a clean and dry surface. So for first, I'm going to just kind of mock it up to see what it's going to look like, kind of get an idea of where I want to put everything. We could put it up here. I'm going to kind of put it down towards the bottom, because I do want to leave a little space up here for a little bow. So you're going to do whatever you want underneath first. So we'll do our Mary and Joseph here first. So we're going to take it off, and then we're just going to line it up where we want it here. I want to make sure I don't cut off his top of his head. If we do, we're just going to sand it off. Like this one, I did actually, this graphic goes taller. So if that happens, once you're done, you just lightly sand and just peel it off. But this one fits better, so. These I'm going to put on my tier tray, so I can just pop them up there. But they'd also make super cute gift tags, or slipping in like a little gift. You could put string or ribbon behind it and hang it as a little sign, or even a Christmas ornament if your tree's big enough. I always have a hard time on my tree finding the spots for the bigger ornaments. But again, we're just rubbing, and we're gonna let it release as it's ready. We're not gonna force it. If you see any stretching of the graphic, then it's not quite ready to release. So we've got them on there. This looks so pretty with the crackle. Okay, Carmen. Will these designs fit the lanterns? Deborah, let me I have one lantern left. I will check when I get off the live and double check, but they should, because these are, these would fit the 3-inch rounds. I don't even think I have any. I'm trying to see. I have ornaments here and I do not. But they fit the ornament rounds too, so they should. But I'll double check when I get off. Okay. And I'm just gonna layer this one right over the bottom. And you can see it overlapped with the other design, and that's fine. And this one's a full design, so it'll come off really nice. And we're just gonna peel it off. Just like that. So cute. And then for the bow on this one, I got all crazy and like I made a bow for the other one while I was waiting to go live, and I think I used my only burlap bow that I have. Checking my goodie stash here. See what I have. I have a lot of checkered bows. All right. So I just have some ribbon here. This is like the simplest bow to make ever. I just kind of cut the corners diagonally. And then I have this jute that I've had forever. And the same thing, you're just gonna have it go the same, approximately the same length. Oh my God, I'm trying to put stuff everywhere. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, that doesn't want to go in there. All right, so I'm just gonna make like an X. So I'm gonna do one this way. This one I'm gonna do straight, and I'm gonna flip it so that, because it's wanting to curve up, so I'm gonna make the curve go down. So once I glue it, it'll be good to go. And try not to burn myself on my glue gun. All right, so I'm gonna do this one kind of straight. And then I'm gonna do this other one the other direction. All right, and then I'm gonna grab my box over here that I have extra bows in. 1 second. I got those bows from the ornament maker kit, so I know I have more in here. Fishing, fishing, here we go. Like, I know I have more. I think I would have put that a little closer. You could also just make a bow if you don't have these little bows. Like, I just buy the pre-made ones, but you could do a bell in here. You could do some holly. I didn't have any, I wanted to do some greenery, but I don't have any Christmas holly or picks yet that are small enough for like a little sign like this. So we're just going to attach that just to give it a little zhuzh. And there you go. So cute, so simple. Again, you could seal this with the Mod Podge. You could seal it with an acrylic spray. You don't necessarily have to, but if you're worried, you can, because these are full graphics, so it'll stay on pretty good. So there is 2 different ways. Monica, you're fine. Hey, Angelia. So there's 2 different ways. So we did this one. This one I did before. Again, this is just the antique wax in Besting, Dixie Belle Besting wax in brown. A layer of Mod Podge after you do the wax. Otherwise, it's not going to want to stick to the wax. And then I put the transfers and added the little bow. This one we did the crackle with the Elmer's glue. So those are 2 of the wooden ones. Again, these postcard cutouts are in the store. They come in a 4-pack, so you can do multiple. And then we did the one card. Let's go ahead and do another card, and then we can use the green paper on the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this paper. Actually, let's do one of these because I want to show you how you can do the envelope too. So you're going to do this paper the same way we did the brown paper. So don't feel like I'm skipping something. We're good. Okay, let me get this out of the way, and let's do one of these. And we are going to do another, oh wait, I want to do the wording. Okay, so we're going to cut up this wording. So we need something that's going to go with our green. Oh, I'm like, I just had it. We want something that's going to go with our little green here. I really liked this one together. Or we could pull in this one. This one has some green. Let's use this one. All right, so we're going to use this one. Trying to see if I have. Did I use both of the others? All right, we're going to use that. Oh yeah, I used it. Okay, I'm just making sure I used everything. All right, we want to make sure that wherever we put the design, that we're going to have some room to still put our little paper here without losing baby Jesus. So I'm going to have to push this star pretty much up into the top. There's a little star right here. So we're going to go ahead and peel off. We're not going to touch any of the design. And we're just going to kind of line up the top of the design with the top of the postcard. Now I have a little teeny bit of the, what is that, garland, like hanging over the edge of the postcard. That's fine. We can still catch that with the sander. Now on this one, all these little hanging lights, those are all individual graphics, kind of like the words. So you're going to want to make sure that we have each of those down. So just going to catch an edge and make sure that it's releasing. We don't want to lose any of our little hanging lights here. So this particular card is going to be the easiest one to work with because it's not the soft paper, it's regular paper. And we'll just take our little sanding and we're just going to sand to release it. You can also bend it around the back, but if you don't want it showing on this side, you just sand it and then you can see like it's all gone. So we've got our design here, and then you could go ahead and just put the wording right underneath it like we did the other one, but I'm going to show you how to do it on the paper real quick. So I'm going to use this, just the same thing. I'm just going to use the first part of the verse. So any of our verses like this, you don't have to use the whole verse as we have it. You can just cut out the portions that you want to use. And then I'm going to leave off the little comma because it wouldn't make sense because I don't have the rest of the verse. So I'm just going to leave that little comma off. All right, and we are going to stick it on our piece of paper here. And this is just cardstock that I like. It has a little bit of a texture to it, but just in my little scrap piled cardstock. All right, so we're just going to center it and then go ahead and rub it on down. And then I am going to antique this one a little bit, but we'll do that in here in a second. All right, again, these are all individual letters, so I want to make sure I get every letter. Ooh, my bee's being a little sticky, so if it's being sticky, just go around, work it from a different direction. It's kind of like a problem, right? If you have a problem that you're stuck on, walk away, come back at it at a different direction. Otherwise, it can get frustrating. So especially if I have a part that's really sticky, I'll just keep going around in the opposite direction and then work my way back. There we go. All right, so now we have our lettering on here. Hi, Miss Kathy. Wanda says she loves the card making kit. I'm doing great, Wanda. So glad that you could make it. Deborah, for sure, wait, would it go sideways? Wait, which thing sideways? This way? I think I'm behind on comments. Kathy says it's beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so we're going to get out our wax. And I'm not even going to add any more wax to it. Also, I'm like, where's my protective sheet? Did I throw that away? I shouldn't have. I'm going to get, I stuck it under here. My protective wax sheet. So I use this on my mat whenever I'm doing any waxing so that I don't get the wax all over the mat and then get the wax from the mat onto whatever I'm working on. But you can just come here and like just antique the edges. And if you do it over the letters, it will pull a little bit into the letters. So I'm just going to do it like so. And then so they match, I'm going to come here and kind of do the same with the card. Again, I didn't add any additional wax to my brush. I'm just using what's on the brush just to kind of soften up the card a little bit. And I'm keeping most of the brush off the paper, well, off the card, I should say, because I don't want it to be too crazy. And if you want, you can drag the whole thing. If I do that, I just do it super lightly and after I've done the edges. So that just kind of aged it just the teeniest bit. From here, we can go ahead and attach our little paper that we have here. So I just use the tape runner. Like I said, I just go around the edge. So I do one this way, one this way. And you just drag it. This one, it comes in the card kit or you can just, it's just a glue tape runner is what it is. And then from here, we're just going to place our cutout right on top of it. Now this does have wax on it and I'm pushing on it, so I want to not touch the card too much. But that could be our card. And then I'm going to clean off my hands because you know me getting wax in all the places. So then if we want our envelope to kind of match it, we have all of these, we have some stars you can use on here. We have some little, what are these? Bulb lights, little Christmas lights, but in the watercolors. We also have this little banner that can go on here. So I think I'm gonna do, also we can do the other part of the verse right here would fit on the back of the envelope. You could do the banner on the back of the envelope. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. I've also done ones where I have wrapped it from the front to the back. I don't know if there's enough of this to do it that way. Let me see. I don't think there's enough to wrap all the way around. What I like to do is accent like a side, because especially if you're mailing it, you're going to need this part here for your return address and this part for your who it's going to. So I typically like to stay either like this corner or this corner down here or something on the back. So let's do this one and we'll do it at the corner. And so I'm going to overlap it a little bit because there's a couple ways you can do this. You can, if you want it to be exactly, you can just take this, use a pen. Actually, I'm going to use a pencil because I don't want to write on the card. So you could just do a pencil line right here. And then that's going to show you where to cut it so that it matches exactly with the edge of your card. This is probably the easiest way to do it, so I would do it that way. And then that way you don't have to worry so much about rubbing off the edge. So now we have it where it matches pretty much exactly where we need it. We'll just have to get it laid on there correctly. Fingers crossed. Hey, Miss Janice. Deborah, I'm still lost on your comment at the side so it could be at the top. There's a million different ways you could do these, and you guys always have like way better creativity than I do. All right, so we're just gonna kind of angle it up there. Hey, I think that's pretty good. We have a teeny bit that's overlapping the edge here, but it's fine. So I always think it's fun when the card and the envelope match, because then it's like you bought the set together. So in this case, we did have a little bit extra. If you're worried about sanding it, just come through with your little scissors and we just clip that off. Problem solved. Because it is paper, it's not as easy to sand on the paper, but that would be how I would do it. I'm always glad when this stuff happens on the live so that you guys can see how we would go about fixing it. So each of these lines is its own little graphic. So we're going to have to make sure that we get them down real good before we peel it off. And I had one little, where I cut it, there was like a part of the bulb was hanging on and part was hanging off. So I got to make sure like wherever it starts that we get it down real good. And we're just going to rub each little piece here and let it release. Now, if I was thinking when I started, we could have done the first part of the verse here, unto us a child is born, and then the second part of the verse, unto us a son is given, on the inside. That would have been super cute, but I didn't think about that. And then we still have some space here. So if you wanted to, I think I'm going to add that little star right there. You can add that on the back. Yeah, there's enough room for all of it. All right, I'm going to put it on my mat here so I can kind of get it on there straight. Actually, I'm going to bring it down. Can you still see it if I put it down here? Okay, good. Because on the mat, I know that this line right here is the center. And this one has little tiny stars around it. So I'm just going to line up the center of the star with the center line there, and then go ahead and rub it down. I got all these little tiny stars here. There's like the tiniest little stars. And the little piece that I cut off. Hi, Miss Janice. Monica says the cards my youth group made with the sunflower printables was a success. The youth loved the sunflower and verses. They didn't want to stop making cards. I love that. Plus, how proud were they, I'm sure, to be able to gift something that they made themselves. And one of the things I love about the transfers is it just makes everything that you make look so professional. And as you guys know, I'm not the best crafter. So if I can make something and it looks amazing, like I didn't make it, that's a win for me. So here's the back of our card, our envelope. Here's the front of the envelope. And then here's the little card that we made to go with it. So how sweet is that? Look, it even matches these stars little match. So that could be a cute little Christmas card that you give to a neighbor or gift someone or put on a present. So that's how easy it is. Again, this is the holiday 2-pack. I cut up the one that I have to show you. I didn't grab another one. So you have on the first sheet, you're going to have this design. You're going to have this design here that we used, the other watercolor one, these two, and then this was where this wording was right here. Oops, you can't even see on that screen. So these two designs were in the first sheet here that we made the little freestanding sign. Again, I'm going to put this on my tier tray. So cute. And then sheet 2 has the full verse, unto us a son, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. And then it also has we use the little banner here. And the other little graphic we used is right here. So it's a 2-sheet set. Because it's only 2 sheet, it is more inexpensive. It's only $9.99. And you get the 2 sheets. And then we're also offering it in the postcard make your kit, where you get where you get 6 cards to make. So you'll get 2 of the cardstock ones with envelopes. Then you'll get 2 of the aged paper. Again, this type of paper, this one and the other one, you're going to want to do a light coat of Mod Podge before you apply the transfers. So these are the 2 designs that I kind of showed. And then the other 2 sheets of paper are the lighter handmade paper. Again, use a light layer of Mod Podge on here before you put the transfers, and that's going to help it'll be way easier to apply the transfer because it's going to fill in all the little woven grooves. And you won't even be able to see it, just a super light coat. And make sure it's completely dry before you do the transfers. And then this is another one of the examples that I did where, again, I just layered the wording verse right over the other transfer. So super easy, so many different ways that you can use them. Again, these are the 4-pack. If you want the postcards, we have those on the site. They work on the postcard maker. Ones fit. The love letter that we still have, those are on closeout right now. Those will fit on here too. And then the other kit is this one. And the postcard maker kit does come with some other stuff that I didn't use. So let me go through that again. It comes with your decorative tape, your glue tape. Then you also get 2 sets of frames. Well, technically you get 4 sets of frames. So there's 3 frames on the sheet. Then you'll get another paper frame. You get the Christmas banners. These are secular banners. Let me just put it that way. I did have one person complain because it said Happy Holidays, but these are just an assortment of secular vintage banners that we found that we thought would be fun to use. If they don't speak to you, don't use them. But they don't have Bible verses on them. So I'll just put that out there. And then you get 6 vintage stickers. Again, they're secular. There is Santa in there. But they were so fun with the little vintage images. I thought you guys would enjoy using them, so I included them in there. So you'll get all of that in the card maker kit. And this card maker kit, because it comes with a 2-pack set of transfers instead of 3-pack, is less than the other one that's on there, because the other one has a full three sheets of transfers. I think I'm like worked out. So what do you guys think? Who's making Christmas cards this year? Because these are so fun. Debbie or Deborah Bowman, I will get back to you on, I'm going to get the lantern out and I will personal message you on which ones fit. We do only have a limited supply of these. I did not buy my normal amount of these ones because I wasn't sure how you guys would feel about the it being a 2-pack. And you never know with the Nativity. Some people love them. Especially the watercolor. Some people love the watercolor. Some people like the more realistic ones. So I just wasn't sure. So it's not as much as I normally buy, but if you love them and we can get them back in, we will try, but no promises. So if you see them and you're like, I have to have these, please don't wait because it does get crazy over here. Monica said this will be another project. Yes, Monica, have the kids make them. I love it. So fun. I really like these banners, having the words on the banners that you can just lay right over. So on this one, you can see on these 2, I layered it in front of the transfer. On this one, I layered the transfer over the banner. So you can do either way. So it just gives you a lot of versatility on how you want to do them. because that was what I was envisioning. I love the mix match layering. For me, that's so fun. This one you can see the letters are a little bit blended in. So if you're okay with that, cool. If not, you could also do like I could have done a smaller banner and put it in there. I kind of like how it looks like it's painted on there. So again, it's just preference. It's what you like to do, what you would like to do. Thank you so much, Christine. Okay, so that is it for today. I was looking at my calendar, so we still have one more week. I think I'm doing the monthly transfers next week with the sunflowers. Is that what I'm doing? Good Lord, I don't know. I know we have more fun stuff coming up. We have a new Christmas rice paper that's dropping. It will be dropping the beginning of next month because we do have our new club project that's coming out for, what the heck month are we in? We're in August. So we have the September project. I can't wait to show you. Members, bonus craft night is this week. It is 5 o'clock Pacific time in the member group. We're doing our bonus craft night this Thursday, and we're doing a stacked ornament. So excited to play with that. I can't wait. And then next Saturday, we'll be doing our kit. And so this Thursday, I will reveal to you members what the project is going to be for next month. So if you're a member, make sure to jump on that live or watch the replay inside the private group, and you'll get a sneak peek as to what we will be crafting next month. I know you got a sneak peek in your kit, so this will actually be like, it's not even a sneak peek, it's a peek. You get to see the whole thing. So fun. But that is it. Monica says, I like this set of transfers. Probably buy more to have plenty for the kids. I love that, Monica. You do. The more you buy, the more you save too. So for those of you that are like debating, I think if you buy 2 or more sets, you automatically get a discount. And then after 4, you get a discount. And after 6, you get a higher discount. So it just goes up based on how many you buy. So if you're ever like on the fence of buying 1 or 2 and you're not a member, even if you are a member, you still get the discount. But that's another way to save. It only works on each individual transfer. So it had to be 2 of the same kind. But if you know you're going to use them, or especially for like a ladies craft night or a ministry event, or like Monica's doing it with the kiddos, just know that you save more when you buy more. So keep that in mind. I can't wait. Monica, I would love to see what they made. I think you sent us pictures last time, if I remember, because I remember seeing some kiddos, some teens with some crafting projects. So if that was you, or even if it wasn't, we love the pictures. Even if we can't share them, always let us know if you can share your pictures or not. But we love seeing them because it helps. It just helps what we do just make so worth it. Like, we're reminded of why we're doing what we're doing and how we're impacting, and especially impacting the youth of the kingdom. I just can't with that. It just fills my heart. I got chills. I love it. All right, ladies, I'm going to go let you go about your day. I'm going to take some pictures of these and I'll get them up, and then we'll get the replay posted. So if you missed the beginning, you can tune that in. But they're available live to everybody. Grab them while you can. And members, I'll see you on Thursday. Everyone else, I'll see you same time next Tuesday with another fun, easy project. But until then, happy crafting.